It is exceedingly important to Matthew as he begins to lay out this gospel of the good news to establish a foundation, and it is the foundation of a building that causes it to stand. And for Matthew, the foundation is based upon Jesus' background. As you know, each gospel writer has a different audience. Each gospel writer gives a little bit of different twist on the story. They're not contradictory, just from different angles, like a camera, a photographer. And Matthew, his aim is to convince his own Jewish people. Matthew was a tax collector. So in American standards, he worked for the IRS. And he was crooked. They took money from the Jewish people to, line the Rome's pockets. Tax collectors were not liked. And Matthew came to know Jesus. He came to give up everything he had to follow Jesus. And he's so convinced of who Jesus is, and he wants to convince the Jews who have a problem with Jesus. They're going to struggle over this because they're expecting a regular king to show up and somehow overthrow Rome and establish some earthly kingdom. Jesus will not do any of that. And so it's very important to Matthew to show them that though this Jesus, this Messiah, is so unusual and does not meet their expectations, you need to understand he is connected. He's connected all the way back to the father of the Jewish nation. And so that is why he is going through this whole thing of the genealogy and showing the line of Jesus back to David. And showing the circumstances of his birth. Jesus, his birth was unusual. He was born of a virgin. He was adopted by Joseph because Joseph was not his biological father. He was conceived of the Holy Spirit. All of these things are a setup by Matthew to really help the Jewish people get an understanding that this is no ordinary Jesus. This is no ordinary teacher. This is no ordinary rabbi. And it's going to help them better grasp who Jesus is.